So I did something this week that I'm not entirely proud of. It cost a little bit more than I wanted. It took a little bit longer than I wanted. And at the end of the day, it wasn't that satisfying. Have any of you gone into your grocery store hungry without your shopping list? Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't, consider yourself lucky and warned, because there are consequences. You'll find yourself like me, being pulled up and down a grocery aisle by my grumbling stomach, not really caring about what ingredients there were, but just throwing finished products into my cart, trying to satisfy my hunger. Well, when I got home and unpacked my items, which included some jalapeno potato chips, some strawberry Pop-Tarts, and raw broccoli spears, this actually happened. Let's just say that that meal was less than appetizing. Well, unfortunately, a number of our employers are taking a very similar approach to hiring with a similar outcome. They're launching into the hiring process without having a really good sense of exactly what ingredients they want to procure that will mean a lasting outcome. Have you seen a job description lately? You know that's not the recipe for success. In fact, the CEO of Burning Glass, which is a large job description aggregator, recently called the job description something akin to an archaeological dig. That's not very clear. I saw this vagueness play out when I was associate counsel to President Obama. Employers would come into us and say, we want to hire, but we can't find people with the right skills. So we would say, what are the right skills? They'd say, give me someone with a 4-year degree and 3 to 5 years of work experience. And I thought to myself, probably the same thing you're thinking to yourselves. Well, those aren't skills. Those credentials, we've used them as a proxy for ability for a long time. And that system has worked okay for some, but increasingly it's leaving our employers dissatisfied, our workforce disengaged, and our economy at less than full potential. But the good news is, it doesn't have to be that way. If our employers could be clearer about exactly what can appear and should appear on that grocery list, not only will they have a more cost-effective and satisfying experience, but they'll also be able to transform and align our talent development process. Our talent development process. This is the process that includes our educators, our trainers, our employers, job seekers, everyone who helps us learn about, qualify for, and be hired into jobs. That talent development process is actually fundamental to the competitiveness of our economy, and right now it's failing us. I don't know if you're aware, but we are in a presidential election year. Sometimes it feels like that, right? Well, in a presidential election year like this one, regardless of your political affiliation, whether you think that this is the election that is going to make America great or finally make America great again, we know that for America to achieve that greatness, we need a strong middle class. And this point is particularly important right now because for the first time in the post-war era, we've seen the middle class shrink so it's no longer the majority of our workforce. And in an election year like this one, you're going to hear a lot of statistics that get thrown around. Statistics like 6 million open jobs, 8 million unemployed, a millennial population that's now the majority of our workforce, a baby boomer population that's preparing to retire. You've got $1 trillion in student debt, and you've got an entire group of people that are looking to engage our workforce in a way that they haven't before. And so when you have numbers like that, it's no surprise that people want to talk about a strong middle class. But if you want a different outcome, you actually are going to have to do something different. My grandmother always said, doers do. And employers, I'm looking at you to do something different. And I know you're frustrated. I know that everyone is looking to you for the answer and asking you to serve on more curriculum committees, but you actually have a business to run. But we need that data. We need the data that only you can provide because at the end of the day, you're actually going to be the purchaser of this finished product. Because our educators and our job seekers, they're actually pretty frustrated too. Our educators want to produce programs that produce the meaningful skills that will lead to success. Our job seekers view this entire process as a virtual black box they actually can't see into. with all that frustration, it forces you to think, how did we get here? Now, I won't take you back thousands of years through the job search process, back to the hunters and gatherers, where you got your job based upon your utility to society. But they may have had something there. Let's suffice it to say that where we are is a function of technological evolution and lack thereof. We've had tremendous innovation in the world of work. The internet age, the technology age, the machine age have all influenced the way in which we engage with work. Who does it? And does what? But we haven't seen that sort of innovation in the talent development process. No, we haven't. We're still putting students into programs that have little to any connectivity to the world of work. We still see job seekers using a 500-year-old resume, tweaking it on the edges. And our employers are using a job description that looks like a newspaper classified ad. It just happens to be online now. That one's from 1861. Of course, our critics are going to be quick to complain and point out that we do have the advent of single-click applications. But I think that just creates more noise. And I think our inundated HR directors would agree with me. Now you have these semantic word searches that are trying to seek out the keywords in your resume and match them to the keywords in your job description. But at the end of the day, that just shows that you picked the right keywords. You are more than your resume. You are each a collection of skills and experiences, and our talent development process should value what you've done and can do more than where you've been. Because we're asking people to redefine themselves, to take their skills from previous experiences and apply them to new opportunities. But how do you do that if you don't know exactly what those new opportunities require? Think about those people who develop their skill sets outside of the traditional workforce. People like my mom, who came to me to look at her resume. Now, if you're my mom's current employer is watching this happened many years ago, and I wouldn't worry about it. So when my mom came to me many years ago, I saw that she had gaps in her resume. And she reminded me that those gaps were the years that she came out of the workforce to keep a watchful eye on me and my two sisters, for which we are eternally grateful. But the sad point is that she didn't realize that those skills that she was demonstrating and perfecting every day were valuable in the workforce. And she couldn't think of how to convey that in a meaningful way to an employer. Or think about our military, our veterans, who are struggling to translate how their military experience qualifies them for civilian positions. Imagine Bob walking into your HR director's office and saying, "Hi, I'm Bob, and I'm retiring from the US Army as an E-835 Mike." Well, hopefully your HR director doesn't do what so many others have done before, which is thank Bob for his service, shake his hand as he walks him out the front door. Not realizing that what's walking out the door is a mid-level manager with community engagement, communications, reporting expertise for the largest employer in the world. Or imagine the millions of Americans who have been downsized, or are nearing retirement, or simply want to transition in their job or career. They have skills that can be applied to each one of those 6 million open positions, but which ones and how? That's why I co-founded SkillSmart, because we wanted to create that more transparent process that allows employers to hire based upon skill sets. And it starts with the employer, being able to define clearly what skills and experiences they want someone to have when they come into their enterprise. But it also enables that job seeker to bring the full breadth of their life experiences to bear, to demonstrate how they qualify for that opportunity today and tomorrow. Because as the face of our economy changes, our talent development process has to answer a fundamental question. And that's, how do my skills qualify me for this opportunity? And if I'm not qualified today, what can I do to be qualified tomorrow? The exciting potential about understanding jobs at their atomic skill level is that in addition to being able to be clear about exactly what skill sets a job requires and being able to match talent to that opportunity, is the fact that we're also able to identify the building blocks for our educators and our trainers so that they can produce the education and the skills that employers need. through data and transparency, we can transform the K through 12 model into a K through life model. We know that the modern worker is going to hold an average of 15 jobs. So this idea and process of skill identification and then acquisition is one that's going to happen again and again. Would your college or high school experience have been enhanced had you known how well what you were learning would have been applied to the workforce? We know that people matriculate and complete at higher rates where they know how what they're learning relates to the workforce. Would you be more likely to take a course today online at your local community college, at a university, if you knew that that course would teach you the 3 or 4 critical skills that you can obtain that next opportunity? That's the process. That's the system that's going to activate our employers and align our education and our training and empower our job seekers to demonstrate, based on skills, that they're the right fit. Now, the next time I go into a grocery store, you can rest assured that I'm going to take my grocery shopping list with me. But my hope is that the next time our employers engage in hiring, that they have the opportunity to be very deliberate and clear about exactly what skills they're trying to bring into the enterprise. Because in addition to having a more cost-effective, satisfying, long-lasting experience, they'll also be providing the fuel that's going to power that talent development process. Because I think one thing is clear. If we want to reverse the decline of the middle class, if we want to unlock the on-ramps to opportunity and ensure that this economy continues to be competitive, then we need a talent development process that can be responsive to the needs of industry, whatever they may be, and can produce a workforce that's both book smart and skill smart. Thank you so much.